Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we are going to be talking about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Now, before we get into the sequel, I just want to briefly sum up my thoughts on the first film, and to be honest, this might irritate a couple people out there, but I did not think it's one of the best MCU movies ever. The first Guardians of the Galaxy. I thought it was one of the better ones. Just not one of the best. But that's just me. Let's dig into what this movie's about and what I liked, didn't like, what you clicked on basically. So, first off, let's get into the plot as much as I can without getting into spoilers. So, first off, the plot is basically, it starts right around when we get to the end of the first act, it feels like. Oh, man. Sorry. And it's basically Peter Quill, otherwise known as Star-Lord. He meets his dad because his ship crash landed, and his dad followed him, and his dad's basically trying to reconnect with his son. And also another thing is that he's also trying to explain what he did when he was younger before Peter Quill was around. Now, what did I like about this movie? First off, the performances are all really good. The chemistry between these actors, they do well off each other, and I think they're very likable. And I want to see these characters again. These characters are great. They're just as fun as they were in the first film, if not a little bit more. Another thing I liked was the action was really fun, and some of the cinematography looked really, really cool. Actually, quite a bit of the cinematography. What I really liked was the character, I believe his name's Yandu, and they make him feel like an actual character, not just some like really fun expandable character. Not that I have a problem with that, but it surprised me how much I would have liked this character as much as I did, if that makes sense. The score, just like in the last film, it's really fun. I think it's just as enjoyable in this film as it was in the first film. I'm not saying it's the same, but how they used it, it's really fun. From a filmmaking standpoint, this movie is very well done, if you ask me. Ultimately, for a movie like this, the plot, it doesn't matter too much for a movie like this, because you just need good characters, and the action's really good. It does both of that. That's something I really liked. But where the movie falters for me is the story and how it plays out. I kind of hinted at one of my negatives earlier, and that is the plot doesn't start until like the end of the first act. The pacing is a little slow at times. It's a little unbalanced. It goes really fast and really fun, and it slows down. Goes real back up to fast, and the pacing just didn't work for me as much as I was hoping it would. Another issue I had was you saw in the trailer the gold people. Like I can't remember their names, but every scene and anything that involved them felt pointless in this movie. I felt that if you removed them entirely, you would have lost nothing, and that's another thing that I couldn't get over. And they're in the movie quite a bit, and some of the humor didn't really work because it felt that it was over relying on it to get the story moving along, and 85% of the humor worked, the rest, no. Overall, I had a really fun time with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I think if you were to watch this one after seeing the first one, and you've seen all the MCU movies up until this point, you're going to enjoy this one, at the very least. And one other thing I felt was off that kind of bugged me with the first film, and the end credit scenes felt like filler. They were fun to watch, don't get me wrong, but I felt that if you took them out, you would have lost nothing. And this one has 5. And they were just, for the most part, used for comedy. 4 of them were comedy. One was to set up one of the next movies for a character I don't even know. And that's not spoilers. You probably were expecting for an end credit scene and a tie into a future movie. This movie just wanted to sneak in a little of what a future movie might come out soon. But you'll enjoy this movie for what it is. I'm sure of it. And I'm going to give Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 a B+. I'm not sure what I would give the first movie. Probably the same grade. I enjoyed this movie as much as I did the last one. The first Guardians of the Galaxy, that is. Thank you for watching my reviews. Be sure to comment down below and tell me what you thought, or whatever you want to say. Like this video, and follow me on Twitter. I'll put a link in the description below. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation. And I will get my next review up very soon. Not sure what it's going to be, but we'll see what it is. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.